Hey everybody, welcome to Jason Explains Things. For the first time ever, we have Michael's 2025 Nissan Frontier Pro 4X in the shop, and we're going to be doing some first maintenance and modifications today.
Today we're going to do the truck's first oil change. It's at just about 1,000 miles, so we're going to get that done today.
So that's going to be a break-in oil change, and we're also going to be sending a sample off with Blackstone for an oil analysis, which we will save for the very end of the video. So we'll check to make sure the engine is breaking in fine and normally.
Yeah, and on top of that, I also bought a catch can, since this is a direct injected V6.
Yep.
So I'm going to install a catch can because I want to take care of this motor as long as possible.
Cool. Well, let's take a quick look at the parts and the tools.
The purpose of a break-in oil change is to remove metal contaminants and manufacturing debris that are common during the initial operation of a brand new engine. When doing a break-in oil change, changing out the oil filter is optional. We'll be showing how to do this, so this video can be used as a guide to do an oil change at any mileage. We'll be changing the Frontier's oil again at 5,000 miles and every 5,000 miles thereafter, which is the normal service interval. After the oil change, we'll go over the catch can, including why they're a great idea and how to install this one from Z1 Off-Road. Check the description for chapter markers to jump between topics and for links to all the supplies and tools. To change the oil on any D41 Nissan Frontier with a 3.8-liter V6, you'll need the following: 5.3 quarts of 0W20 SP or equivalent full synthetic oil, an oil filter, either the OEM one, part number 15208-31U1E, or an equivalent. Wix makes a great one, part number 51358. And a drain plug gasket, OEM part number 11026-JA00A. Tools are very simple for this job. You'll need a 10mm and 14mm socket and ratchet, a torque wrench, an oil filter wrench, drain pan, funnel, rags, and PPE.
You need a lift. Just to make oil changes easier.
Right? That's all. Not the 8 inches of clearance, but
Yeah.
So when doing the oil change, there is a little inspection window right here that you can use to kind of get at the filter a bit. It's pretty small, pretty cramped. We're going to actually take off this whole plate just to have more room to work.
Michael, do you want to cheat?
Yes.
You want to cheat? Okay. There you go.
What? This whole time?
I know. If you want to take this plate off while doing oil changes, there are 2 more hidden bolts, and you can see them through this hole right here, one on the driver's side and one on the passenger. To make doing oil changes easier for Michael, we're going to just widen this hole just a little bit, and it's all covered up by that first bash plate. So this is totally optional, up to you. Again, you can just use that inspection door if you want. Both Michael and I agree this is gonna be a really easy, simple modification that's gonna save time many, many times in the future.
Nice.
Hey, look, there's a bolt now.
Look at that.
It's right there. Come on, Nissan. Come on, guy. What's Nissan's thing? It's not let's go places. What's
just one guy at Nissan. Come on, guy.
Come on, Nissan guy.
Hey.
Hey, another bolt. I love it. I like my access holes.
It works. And it's free.
Oh, that's so much more room.
Wow. Yeah. It's like that's how you're supposed to do it.
Remove the oil filler cap. Remove the oil drain plug with a 14mm socket.
Don't make a mess. Don't you do it. We have to, oh crap, we have to collect a sample.
If you want to do an oil analysis, you want to collect the sample in the middle of the draining process, which I almost forgot.
We did it. We're really good at this.
Remove the oil filter with a filter wrench. Leave it partially threaded out and let the oil drain into another pan. Try not to drop it like I did.
Whoop. Oh, shit.
Use a tool to remove the old crush washer from the drain plug. Then install a new one as you see here. Put the drain plug back in and torque it to 30 foot-pounds.
Yep.
Lubricate the new oil filter's O-ring with clean oil. Clean the mating surface and then thread on the new filter, and only hand tighten it.
It's snug there. I'm just gonna give it a slight turn with my hands, and that's it.
Pour in the new oil until you read low on the dipstick, usually around 5 quarts. Run the engine for 30 seconds and check for leaks. Then top off the oil until it reads full on the dipstick without going over. You want to do the final level step with the vehicle on level ground. Put your skid plates back on and the oil change is done. Let's move on to the oil catch can.
So what is an oil catch can and what are the benefits? This can get highly detailed, so we're gonna have some resources down in the description for you if you want to do some more research on it. But what it does is it separates oil vapor, moisture, and other blow-by gases from your PCV system that can get into your intake manifold, and that can be trouble, especially for direct injection engines like this Frontier has. But the issue if you have direct injection is you can get carbon buildup on the back of your intake valves. And the catch can, by separating that oil vapor and that moisture, it can prevent that carbon buildup, or at least prolong it from happening for like a long time. I don't even think that the Nissan engine has a lot of issues with carbon buildup anyway by design, unlike Volkswagen and Ford especially. But with this, it'll probably never be an issue for them, hopefully. Disclaimer, here, let's install it.
Michael chose the Z1 Off-Road, Nissan Frontier oil catch can kit, and optional drain hose to make emptying it easier. This product isn't sponsored and Michael paid full price for this kit. To install the catch can, you'll need regular and needle nose pliers, a standard ratchet, metric sockets, and a 5 and 8mm hex socket. The catch can will be installed with a custom mount next to the intake manifold in the space between it and the battery.
Okay.
Use the supplied small hardware to attach the catch can to the custom mount. We used blue thread locker to prevent it from getting loose. Michael loosely assembled the 2 banjo fittings that go onto the top and side of the catch can.
Right on the side, and we're just going to keep that kind of loose for now, so we can adjust for putting the hoses on later. And we got one on the top. And they're not specific, so they're interchangeable. It doesn't matter which one goes where.
Either one?
Either one.
If you're doing the drain hose, now is a great time to attach its connector to the bottom of the catch can. The hose that came with the kit was less than great, so I used a spare fuel hose I had on hand. Don't forget to include the hose clamps.
Yeah.
We left it extra long and will trim it and then install the drain valve at the end of the job. Remove the OEM PCV hose that's going from the passenger side valve cover to the intake plenum. It's a little tricky to get at those clamps, but I believe in you. The new kit comes with 2 hoses. The longer one goes to the rear of the intake manifold to the out port on the catch can, and the shorter one with more bends goes from the passenger side valve cover to the in port on the catch can. With the hoses attached and in place, it's time to mount the catch can. Remove the 2 bolts on the passenger side of the throttle body with a 5mm hex, and use them to mount the catch can in place. Be careful to not over-torque these bolts. Now attach the 2 hoses to the catch can, securing with clamps.
That works a lot better. Man.
With the hoses attached, tighten down the banjo bolts with an 8mm hex. Lastly, we cut the drain hose to length so it's easily accessible and installed Z1's drain valve. Remember to drain the oil catch can on a regular basis, 1 to every 3,000 miles. We'll be checking back on this soon.
And we already have oil analysis from Blackstone back about your first oil change. Should we, you want to hear the synopsis?
Yeah.
Congrats on the new truck. This looks like a normal break-in sample to us, and we're not spotting anything that looks like a concern. The excess aluminum, copper, and silver come from new parts breaking in. Some of the silver could be soldering material. Silicone is from sealers and lube. We'll just look at those levels to decrease at each change as evidence that break-in stuff is washing out like it should. Averages on the far right. That looks look how a mature VQ 38 double D typically wears over 5,600 mile intervals for reference. No contamination found. Check back. So yeah, looking at aluminum, for instance, for parts per million, I think it's supposed to be 5 on average. Right now it's 28. Copper, supposed to be 13. It's currently at 104. Molybdenum, I think I pronounced that correctly, is supposed to be 112, and it's at 616. So yeah, this would be alarming if this was a 30,000 mile oil change.
Right.
but at under 1,000 miles, you're apparently completely normal.
Is that first initial flush?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So we are going to revisit this exact topic and again cover the benefits of the oil catch can when we do the 5,000 mile service, which we're going to cover for all of you. And that one will also include other things like rotating tires and other things you want to do at 5,000 miles. But yeah, no, this was a really fun, easy install. I think the Frontier, I got to say, it really reminds me of a Toyota, where in a good way, where it's like super easy to do this maintenance yourself. So congrats on the awesome new truck.
Yeah, thanks.
So look for that maintenance thing coming soon, but probably actually before that, this truck might be getting off the ground more.
What are you teasing something?
I am. Until next time, everybody, God bless you, and don't forget to do it yourself.